Welcome back to part 2 of Brief Break-In. Table Time Break-In, sorry. Brief Table Time Break-In. December the 17th, 2023. We're just trying to discuss some things, current events that are going on and that people should be aware of that is going on because evil is running rampant. Evil is running rampant. And why? Because the church isn't doing their job. The church is not doing their job. We're not standing against sin. Let's get on back into this footage, though. This is part 2.
And intensity until the baby finally comes. As we get closer to Jesus' return, all the signs he gave us as a sign of his coming and the end of the age will become more frequent and more intense. All of these signs are manifesting around the world in our time. Jesus, speaking to his disciples about the signs of his coming and the end of the age, declares this in Matthew 24:12. And because lawlessness will be increased, the love of many will grow cold. The Bible tells us lawlessness is the violation of God's commandments, as we read in 1 John 3:4. Whoever commits sin also commits lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. Sin will be so rampant and so commonplace in the last days that the love people once had for one another, for many, will be non-existent. In this prophecy, Jesus Christ is describing an ongoing breakdown in the relationship with God. And since people's love for God is waning, it will be evident in the way people treat one another as well. A symptom may be that the love toward other people is decreasing, but the real cause is that the relationship with God is cooling off. This is what we are witnessing in our world today.
Tonight, Seattle police searching for suspects in a pair of violent hit-and-runs recorded from inside the attacker's car. In the first, someone inside the vehicle tells the driver to hit a woman crossing the street. As the car strikes the woman, the people inside the car are heard laughing. Police say this surveillance video shows that same incident. In a second run-in, just a few blocks away from the first, the driver directly plows into another pedestrian walking in the bus lane, striking the victim from behind, sending them toppling over the roof of the vehicle.
In each video, the driver targets and strikes random pedestrians. Tonight, I'm asking for anyone with information to please come forward.
In a statement, the Seattle police writing that the suspect vehicle did not stop in either incident. Based on the speed of the impact, it's likely that the victim suffered serious injury. The department declined to clarify how they obtained the cell phone videos.
It is so horribly unfortunate that you have individuals in any community who would take such egregious tactics to hurt others and then somehow feel that it's comical. As far as the community is concerned, stay vigilant as you walk in and around your communities.
The videos from Seattle, disturbing and remarkably similar to a case that dominated headlines in Las Vegas this summer. 2 teens accused of killing a retired police.
I warned you to stay out of the cities and stuff and to watch for stuff. Now, just because these things are going on, don't mean that you have to become evil yourself. Don't mean you should want to go out killing these people. That is not the answer. You cannot kill a demon like that. Only the sword of God can take care of demons. Only the Spirit of God can cast them out, lock them up, and put them in chains where they belong. This is demonic. And why is this going on? We've had so many people preaching the truth that it just has resonated, I suppose. The fear of God has left the nation. What do you think? We're in the last days. Itching ear preaching has gone on so long that people just don't care what they do anymore. They're not afraid of God. That is where we are. We're all about to get a big dose of reality, and you're going to get your fear back, because wrath is coming.
Chief in a hit-and-run using a stolen vehicle. Authorities say this video shows the moment Andy Probst was intentionally run down as he rode his bicycle. In body cam video taken after the driver's arrest, one of the suspects focused on the media attention he would get.
You think I'm gonna come out on the news? You might. It won't be for anything good. It won't make your mama proud.
Both Jesus Ayala and Jasmine Keys, who are being charged as adults, have pled not guilty to murder and numerous felony accounts. The pair seen laughing and smiling in court, enraging the victim's family.
They were flipping us off. Can you sit there after taking a man's life?
Those videos just angering to watch. And I should note, in those cases in Seattle, police are not only asking for help in identifying the suspects, but also in identifying the victims. This happened in late November, and police say that detectives have reviewed 911 calls to check on police reports, gone over hospital admissions, and even surveyed the area talking to witnesses for any clues, but they still haven't located the victims.
It started here where a 55-year-old woman allegedly drove through a group of people Saturday afternoon. You can still see the rocks behind me here as one witness tells me the woman came at the group from multiple different angles.
Screaming, like even cars were honking. It was chaos, really.
As Jamie Wagenman sat at a red light on 6th Avenue North and 27th Street around 12:30 in the afternoon, a group of people gathered on the corner closest to Albertsons caught her eye. What happened next shocked her.
I just kind of saw this white Jeep fly by me and then jump onto the sidewalk straight at the group of people that was there.
According to Billings Police, that Jeep was being driven by 55-year-old Genevieve Rancoret.
And the first thing that I thought was they lost control and they were in a wreck.
Wagenman's initial thought was quickly changed when she watched the Jeep drive away from the group
into the Albertsons parking lot and then drive straight at them from behind, like trying to catch them, not looking, not paying attention.
Police say Rancoret hit a 45-year-old man that was in the group, leaving him with minor injuries. Police say the gathering was the religious group Israelis for Christ.
They were all wearing purple, and so it was clearly a group.
Rancoret allegedly fled the scene after driving at the group several times, but was located 2 hours later on the 700 block of Central Avenue. She was booked on charges of 8 counts of felony assault with a weapon, felony criminal mischief, and a DUI.
It was scary, to be honest.
The Apostle Paul, in his epistle to Timothy, tells us in the last days society will be...
They were deliberately attacked because of their religious affiliations, clearly. Be aware going forward, Church of God, in the name of Jesus. Of your surroundings, where you trod, what you're doing, get in, get out. But don't be fearful of what comes. Don't be angry. We still are required by the Lord to share the love of God and the light of God. And we have to walk through life trusting Him. We can't allow devils to make us fearful to leave our homes or whatnot, to go to church or to go out on the streets into the highways and byways and tell the world who Jesus is and why He came. It is sad to have to talk about this particular type of thing, very much so. But our trust is in God, and we know that if we are departed from this life while serving Him, there is no greater honor. So just be aware of your surroundings. You know, take precautions. I'm not saying to go willy-nilly hog wild. Take precautions, but trust the Lord. Take precautions as Jesus tells you to, but trust the Lord. Let Him lead and guide you into all truth.
The major headline overseas tonight, the Hamas threat elsewhere. Tonight, major raids from Denmark to Germany. with Hamas allegedly plotting revenge attacks in Europe now. Officials in Copenhagen announcing the arrests of 7 suspects in a joint investigation with Israeli intelligence. German police arresting 4 suspected members of Hamas accused of gathering weapons for a potential attack on Jewish institutions there. Meanwhile, here in the U.S., we've been reporting here that FBI Director Christopher Wray has repeatedly warned of the threat here, saying the highest terrorist threat environment since 9/11. Wray has said, quote, "I see blinking lights everywhere I turn." In Israel tonight, the U.S. now ramping up the pressure on Israel. President Biden's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is there, urging Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to scale back the assaults on Gaza. What Netanyahu is now saying tonight, and President Biden now weighing in.
Tonight, that high-stakes meeting in Israel.
Thank you for your support.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan urging Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to scale back the most intense fighting amid the soaring civilian death toll in Gaza.
He did talk about possible transitioning from what we would call high-intensity operations, which is what we're seeing them do now, to lower-intensity operations sometime, in the near future.
A U.S. official confirming a report in the New York Times that a lower-intensity operation may involve the use of smaller groups of elite Israeli forces that would carry out more precise missions to find and kill Hamas leaders, rescue hostages, and destroy tunnels. President Biden weighing in.
I want them to be focused on how to save civilian lives, not stop going after Hamas, but be more careful.
Tonight, a U.S. official confirming that nearly half the air-to-ground munitions that Israel has used in Gaza have been unguided. So-called dumb bombs. Experts say dropping those bombs from lower altitudes, which a Pentagon official claims Israel is doing, can boost their precision. And Netanyahu defiant, saying Israel is more determined than ever to continue fighting until Hamas is eliminated. The Israeli military is releasing this video showing dozens of men with their hands up surrendering, claiming they're Hamas militants who were operating inside a hospital. For the Gazans living under Israel's relentless bombardment, desperation and fear, nowhere is safe. And after 69 days of fighting, concern for the more than 100 hostages who are still in the hands of Hamas. Our Inez de la Katara sitting down with recently freed hostage Raz Ben Ami. The 57-year-old was kidnapped with her husband Ohad on October 7th.
I want my husband back.
Raz was released 2 weeks ago, today clutching the hands of her 2 daughters.
Are you okay?
How can I be okay when he's there and I'm here? And we miss him. We want our family back together. That's what we want. That's all we want. Our family back together.
The Biden administration wants Israel to move to a more tactical, targeted operation as soon as possible, but they also want a plan for the future of Gaza, not just the end of Hamas.
The United Nations agencies and...
How can they be okay? They were taken prisoner. Never been taken prisoner. That was a stupid question. These things are done and shown to propagate fear in people because they're still driving the public through fear. Fear this organization, fear that organization. We'll protect you. Really? But who's going to protect us from you? Any attacks on God's children, that's Jesus, any attacks on Jesus' children will be avenged by the Lord and the angel army. I will state that fact here and now. Any attack on God's children, I don't care what continent they are on, any attack on the children of the Lord Jesus will be avenged by Jesus and the angel army. Just be aware of that. It's not a good idea to go around just attacking people. We are called by the Lord to love people and to love one another. And church, you must continue to show your love light, regardless of what the world is doing. You must continue to love and to go out without fear and to love, love, love everyone. I will see you in the next part.